It appears that a major drama is about to occur as the situation becomes heated. According to some accounts, Eazy, the Block, and Remy got into a heated argument over the most recent episode of the Trauma EP, which began with Affliction. Remy and the Captain have also been discussing Remy's affection for Papoose constantly, and they express their opinions to anyone who will listen. However, the tension didn't end there. After the Captain openly questioned Remy's loyalty, there was a heated argument in the car. Things become even more out of control when you think matters are made worse by Remy's annoyance with Papa's new lover. Here's the scoop in case you missed it. This was a gradual explosion that had been developing for some time. Remy appears to have been utilizing coping strategies for months in order to handle Papoos's new relationship. The entire problem is about to flare up and could burst out at any time. So stay tuned, this isn't completed yet. After weeks of stress, Remy finally lost it. It hurt to hear the rumors. After it was revealed that Remy had cheated on him with an easy-to-get-along underground rapper, Papoose publicly announced their breakup by posting a Father's Day selfie of himself with his daughter, Captain. Then, as if something significant had occurred, everyone was shocked when Remy abruptly vanished from social media. After the dust settled, Eazy and Remy began to spend more time together, although what will happen now? Will Remy and Eazy's short-lived romance last? Or is this the start of something more meaningful? Drama is still very much in store for us. Despite Remy being seen helping out behind the scenes, things took a turn for the worst once he ran into rapper G-Die. When Gaddy disclosed the cause of Remy and Eazy's strong bond, he didn't mince words, and even criticized her complicated relationship with him. G-Die accused him of cheating on Papoose. The man who had been her pillar of support for years, Remy didn't mince words. It was Papo who supported her during her incarceration and stuck by her side no matter what. The issue took a drastic turn when Papo appeared to implicitly agree with the allegations of Remy's infidelity instead of categorically dismissing them. Remy's infidelity was being rumored like wildfire, and the situation was exacerbated by Gaddy's furious remarks. Since Remy was so well known, everyone assumed she would deny the accusations right away. However, since silence is no longer typically seen as a sign of weakness, it certainly made some people pay attention. As if that weren't enough, the issue escalated once the Block made a statement. Shortly after, a second person who had been spotted with Remy entered the story. And once their names were revealed, further rumors began to circulate. Some big media outlets even went so far as to claim that Remy was in a polyamorous relationship, which only served to further confuse matters. Remy's close relationships with a number of people were also criticized, which added fuel to the fire. The plot continues to take unexpected turns, making it obvious that the situation is far from settled. Keep a lookout for much more, because you won't want to miss how things get even wilder. At first, Remy made an effort to deny that anything was taking place. The facts, however, could no longer be concealed as more media sources began to report on it. A few weeks ago, Remy allegedly made yet another surprising admission. She had been seeing boxing champion Claressa Shields. Hold on, it gets worse if you found it shocking. Remy posted a screenshot of Papoose with his new girlfriend as well. As the scathing comment, "I can't get Papoose to leave my apartment after he fell asleep on the phone with Claressa Shields." The two women got into a heated argument, and Claressa even threatened to harm Remy if they ever crossed paths again, destroying what little relationship she had left with Claressa. Claressa reportedly hung up on Remy as soon as she heard her voice. The whole situation startled everyone. With the revelation of the truth, Remy's world seems to be falling apart. Stay tuned because this drama is far from over. Remy couldn't contain her irritation when she saw that Papoose was dating someone else. She was the one who first cheated on him, so it's clear that she's still upset over their breakup based on her latest outbreaks of wrath. She finds it difficult to accept that he has moved on and found happiness with someone else. Clarissa is furious that he is happy without her after all of the drama. The audience went wild when Remy arrived just minutes after the show began, obviously excited to see the block captain play at an open event. However, what transpired was completely unexpected. Even though Remy and Eazy, the block captain, remained friends, she was powerless to stop the drama from unfolding. After a video of the incident was made public, people started berating her for meddling with Papoose. Remy was caught off guard by the harsh criticism. While in an attempt to prevent things from getting worse, she instantly responded yes to a difficult question. According to sources, Eazy feels Remy is taking advantage of him and not treating him with the respect he deserves. As soon as Remy began scolding Papoose for moving on, it seemed like everything went out of hand. Her and Papoose's bond. Things are becoming more serious, and it's possible that karma is catching up with Remy after she betrayed Papoose by going on with Eazy while they were still together. Fans are debating the idea that Remy cheated on Papo, which has angered many. Many believe she should have treated him better because of how much he loved and supported her. Some even believe that this is the reason why individuals are afraid to date New York women. Remy's actions have obviously disappointed a lot of supporters. It looks like Remy is struggling right now, possibly due to a midlife crisis or betrayal. What is the real story behind the spectacle we have all seen? Let's talk about 50 Cent instead. His life is far more complex than it first appears. In 1996, he was kissed by his girlfriend, Shanika Tompkins. In hindsight, Papoose was among her poorest decisions. His public image isn't as different as people think. Some people wonder if he's actually attractive or if Remy used him to help her move on from Papoose. Following the birth of their son, Maris, everything appeared to be going well. But eventually, their relationship and the bond between their family members began to deteriorate. By the time his connection with his first son, Maris, began to erode, 50 had grown closer to his younger son despite the fact that his relationships, particularly with his children, are anything but straightforward. When he was younger, Maris thought his father was a superhero, but as he grew older, that wonder turned to disappointment. By 2008, when things were legal, their father-son relationship was in serious trouble and never fully recovered. When Maris was spotted with Kenneth Supreme's son in 2008, 50 Cent became so enraged that he posted on the internet that he wouldn't care if a bus hit both Maris and McGriff's son. This was a clear indication of how tense their relationship had grown. Maris exacerbated the situation by continuing to hang around with people his father didn't like, and by criticizing him on social media. The fact that neither father nor son was prepared to make concessions made their relationship worse. It's a more complicated and toxic relationship. Maris has repeatedly stated that his goal was to spend time with his father, 50 Cent, rather than to get money. Despite the fact that 50 Cent was paying $6,700 in child support each month, Maris was more focused on repairing their relationship than on collecting money. Despite 50 Cent's assertion that social media wasn't the ideal platform for reconciliation, Maris tried to contact his father directly on social media without his phone number, but he was blocked. In the interval, Maris began releasing songs in an effort to break free from the shadow of his well-known father, compared to his relationship with his eldest son, Marquise. 50 Cent has always had a distinct relationship with his second son, Sire. 50 seemed closer to his younger son, Sire, despite the difficulties with Maris. However, in March 2024, his mother, Daphne, declared on social media that she was done producing children. This illustrates how intricate familial ties are. Daphne said that 50 Cent's rejection of the assault claims had exacerbated their already tense relationship and that the torture she had endured had broken her heart. However, things didn't get any better, and 50 Cent even appeared to be trying. To get full custody of Sire, what had started out as a private issue soon caught the attention of the media. And it was now widely publicized and not just about legal disputes. 50 Cent is not only famous for his songs and popularity, but also for the hardships he has faced. His life has been full of difficult events that have shaped him into the person he is today. One of the pivotal moments in his life was his conviction for minor vandalism. He was put on probation for 3 years, pleaded guilty, and performed community service. But his legal troubles weren't the only newsworthy events. His connection to Kenneth Supreme McGriff was another facet of his past. McGriff is more than just a nickname. He is connected to the incident that almost killed 50 Cent in 2000. Fans started to question what this signified for their relationship when they saw his oldest son, Maris, hanging together with McGriff's child. Many questioned whether or not 50 and Maris's relationship could ever get better. And 50 was constantly concerned about providing a great future for his youngest son, Sire. Despite having a difficult childhood, 50 Cent's path has been impacted by some extremely difficult situations, particularly those involving his mother, Sabrina Jackson. Sadly, when he was only 8 years old in 1983, his mother was taken from him. She was a strong woman who put a lot of effort into giving him a better life. She is believed to have been poisoned, slain, and rendered unconscious, and her flat was torched. The mystery surrounding her murder has haunted 50 Cent for years. And his connection with Maris became even more complicated in 2018. Sabrina Jackson was a fighter who made a name for herself in a society that wasn't always encouraging of women, especially in her community. Her strength and tenacity not only impacted 50 Cent's drive for success, but also left him emotionally scarred, something he has carried with him for the rest of his life. 50's interviews reveal that, despite his success, the grief of his mother's death and the unresolved issues surrounding it have influenced who he is now. Tragic events and adversity have characterized his life and career, and it is evident that these early setbacks have as significant impact on 50 Cent's character. Following the death of his mother, Sabrina Jackson, when he was just 8 years old, he believes that someone killed her, and he frequently reflects on the specifics of her terrible passing and how it profoundly affected him. Strong and resolute, Sabrina did everything she could to help 50 Cent face the hard realities of life. One of the things she would always say to him was, "Get up. What are you crying for?" Counsel stuck with him and influenced how he overcame obstacles all of his life. 50 Cent acknowledges, even as an adult, that the hardest thing he has ever gone through was losing his mother. 50 Cent frequently claims that Bond was his grandmother's baby and that he was everything to him. Growing up on the harsh streets, he had to keep up a tough exterior. Yet life with his grandmother was a sanctuary. Naturally, things weren't always easy. There were times when things weren't going well, especially with his Aunt Sylvia, who didn't. Like that Curtis had become the family's main provider. But by the time he was 12, he was already living on the streets, peddling drugs, and leading a risky life. Despite the fact that he felt he had no other option and had no intention of going down that path, 50 Cent has always placed a high value on his family, despite the fact that things haven't always been easy. His relationship with his mother, Daffy Joy, and youngest son, Sire, has been rocky at times. However, he claims that the loss of his grandmother was the most painful thing he had ever experienced. When he was called to the hospital during a family gathering, her eyes shone when she saw him, but he heard her heart rate rapidly drop. His aunt told him she had been waiting for him despite all the agony he had gone through, but losing her left a lasting scar. In an Instagram post that has since been taken down, Daffy made a public accusation of 50 Cent mistreating her in May 2023. When 50 Cent didn't keep quiet about it, he filed a slander lawsuit, claiming that he was still attempting to leave a loving and challenging legacy and that he was dedicated to his family. This situation also caused tension to grow between 50 Cent and his son, Sire. 50 Cent has always wanted to be involved in his son's life because he felt misunderstood. 50 Cent said in Under Pressure that his difficult experiences made him want to be closer to his child. However, in a stunning change of events, 50 Cent dropped the lawsuit in September 2023. The continuous argument with Sheena Tompkins, the mother of his oldest son, Maris, makes things more tense. For nearly 20 years, 50 Cent and Shaniqua have been entangled in a toxic cycle of court cases, insults, and social media drama. In 2019, avoiding the spotlight became more challenging as he accused him of trying to harm his reputation and keep him from seeing his child. Could, however, suggest that there is a chance that things will calm down and that the dispute will eventually be settled. What do you think? Is it time for 50 Cent and his family to move on from their past? Or do you think they can still make things better? Tell us in the space provided for comments. The scandal surrounding 50 Cent and his family has been in the news for years, and it doesn't appear to be abating. It's because Sheena used the money from his first big tour to pay for cosmetic surgery instead of real estate, which made their arguments worse. They continued to argue over custody even after their 2008 divorce, and their financial troubles only made matters worse. Sheena even requested more money from him, which made the situation worse. I am aware of how challenging everything is. Initially, Maris, 50 Cent's kid, claimed that his father was providing Shaniqua, his mother, with $40,000 a month, which is more than $500,000 annually. But after a protracted court battle, 50 Cent was able to have the payments reduced to $6,701 per month. So the drama didn't end there. Shaniqua's further legal issues affected their son. Maris has tried to avoid the drama, but it's difficult to ignore when your parents are constantly in the news. 50 Cent wasn't happy with the current situation, so he didn't hold back and turned to Instagram to tell Shaniqua to look for a respectable job instead of. The seeming unwillingness of both parties to come to a compromise exacerbates the problem. The media took notice of 50 Cent's arrival at the Power Season 6 premiere with his new girlfriend, Jo Hayes, as if the turmoil wasn't enough. The two seem to click and have been in the news ever since. However, given all that has happened in 50 Cent's life, the primary worry is whether or not this family drama will ever come to a conclusion or settle down.